What is up, everyone? Justice Egan here. Super excited to come to you today with a really, really cool interview for you network marketers out there who are looking to leverage social media, grow your business in really a modern day way. I mean, this is going to be absolute gold for you. You know, I'm super pumped to have had a really great friend and mentor of mine take some time out of her day here so she can share some incredible information with you. Our guest today, if you are brand new, like within a week of joining network marketing or getting your first Facebook account, maybe you haven't heard of her, but her name is Jessica Higdon. By far one of the leaders in our industry when it comes to teaching and training on social media. You've been featured by Eric Worre when it comes to your social media training. And, you know, I've got a few credentials here I'll run down so people know, for those who have been out of the loop, right? They'll get an idea of some of your credentials, but then I'll let you fill in the gaps, Jess, because I'm sure you've got a few things that people could really benefit from hearing about your story. So you got you made your first 10K month, right? Within 18 months of being with your first company, and you were only 22 years old. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is correct.
That is absolutely amazing. Went on to be a six-figure earner and the #1 income earner at that company. I mean, definitely have the credentials training on social media. You and your husband, Mr. Jessica Higdon, some people know him as Ray, have gone on to create a multiple seven-figure coaching business, right? I mean, this is really something that's come to fruition in the last couple of years and been amazing. I'm sure maybe you'll drop a little bit about that as we go along. And you were featured in your last company as a $1 million couple, right?
Yep.
Unbelievable. So guys, here's the deal. I've got Jess for a few minutes here. What I want to do is I want to pick her brain and have her drop some nuggets as to how you can grow your business on social media, what to post, how to get better response, all that good stuff. But before we dive into the good stuff, Jess, thank you so much for taking some time. Really appreciate it. And if you could fill in the gaps, just tell everybody kind of how you ended up here and how you came to make your way into network marketing and become so successful.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm totally honored. Justice is a total rock star, so listen to everything he has to say. Especially when he brings awesome people like me on here. I mean, come on.
No, I seriously have to say though, guys, for those of you who are watching, I don't know that there's anybody in the industry that has had a bigger impact on me and my business than you and your husband have. So I appreciate you guys so much. You are literally, I say you are like the poster children of how people should represent this industry and go out there and train in this industry. So it really, the honor's all mine.
Wow. Thank you so much. That means so much to us. Well, I started in this industry when I was 21 years old. So going into it as a young college student, I'm sure you can imagine that not too many of my friends were super pumped to spend any money on a super fancy dinner, let alone a couple $100 on, network marketing or
Right.
anything else. So all my friends were broke. All my parents' friends thought I was crazy. All my family thought I was crazy. All my coworkers thought I was crazy. And I had no business experience whatsoever. So I'm sure none of you listening can relate to that at all. Just kidding. We all have issues, or most of us have issues with our warm market. But to say that I didn't have a warm market is like a serious under exaggeration. I had zero warm market, no credibility whatsoever. And so I needed to find a fresh way to build my business. I needed to find something different. And at first, I kind of just dilly-dallied around. I didn't do much with the company. The first 6 months, I was like I was broke, but I was comfortable enough to pay my bills. So it wasn't like I was in deep enough trouble where I had to get out of something. I just I thought I was working here and there, but I really wasn't. I don't know if you ever feel that way with your business or felt that way when you're first starting, but you're not really working as hard as you can, but it's just frustrating because you're not sure what to do, right?
Yeah, just I always say like people are pacifying their mind, right? They're like pacifying themselves and saying, hey, I did this today, I did that today, but it almost takes that huge pain point, like to be all in, like, something's got to give and people hit that rock bottom where they decide to actually come out swinging and get after it.
Totally. So mine was, I started I just had an epiphany almost. I was driving in my car. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I looked at this dress in the window. I used to work at Nordstrom, which is a huge department store. And I saw this dress and I was like, oh, I really want to buy that. So maybe I'll move around this utility bill. I'll move that over here, and I'll move my electric bill over here, and I'll make it work. I'll push those back. And I had been thinking that way for years, even though I was young. I mean, that's just kind of how I thought. And I just realized, whoa, this is not how I want to live. This is not what I want to do. And I have this vehicle in front of me. I need to take advantage of it. So long story short, I went online, I searched for mentorship, I searched for anything that would give me some hope, and I found out that some people had built their businesses on social media. So I thought, well, if they can, maybe I can too. So I started prospecting, reaching out to people. I built kind of a system that worked really, really well to prospect people and find leaders. So I found many leaders on social media, and within 18 months, I created my first $10,000 month. And then after that, it just kind of got easier and easier and easier. And like you said, the rest is history. So it was really, really exciting.
That's so awesome. I mean, guys, I want you to think about that from thinking about moving what bill around, right? So that you can afford something that you want, you know what I mean? And not something that's super, super expensive, just something that you want. We all have things that we deserve to go out there and enjoy. And to go from that, to living a 7-figure life. I mean, literally, it really, what a transition. And I mean, thanks a lot to your growth and in skills around social media. So, I mean, guys, get excited. I mean, what I'm going to ask right here and some of the questions we're going to bring out, I'm going to try and get the best out of Jess here, even though they charge top dollar for coaching. So if you only have a minute and you want to see this whole video, make sure to drop a comment below or share, save this video, whatever you got to do. And by all means, share this with your teammates, if you're seeing this on Facebook. So my first big question, Jess, and thanks for filling in the gaps on, the story. My first big question, because I feel like this addresses the majority of people. Where's the biggest place that most people that are network marketers are going wrong on social media?
Well, I feel there's a couple of different places, but I guess if you're going to say the biggest, I feel like people see their top leaders do something on social media, like post, a big banner ad about their company all over their banner, and post a bunch of posts about their company, and all their stuff is about their company. And they see that, and they see that this leader has a ton of comments and a ton of shares and a ton of everything. And so they think, oh, that must be the secret. That's what I need to do. When in reality, those people, those are prospects that are sharing.
Those are their downline, right? And like, yeah,
right. These people have worked hard to get where they are. This is not how they got where they are. Okay. Those are their downline, and, the people in the company and the other leadership that are supporting them. So just because somebody else posts that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So there's really kind of this false hope, I guess, going around that if they can do that, I can too. And you just have to learn to build your network and work on the relationship piece before just going for the jugular. And people say that they understand that, but they're not practicing that. They're not actually doing what they.
It sounds like common sense, right? I mean, if you tell somebody, they'll almost shrug it off, like, yeah, I know.
Totally.
but what they're posting on social media is creating so much resistance. What they're posting on social media is such a pitch, and letting the cat out of the bag just kind of early. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that those leaders, that they have that following because they're up on stage, because they're up in front of the crowds. And for a beginner, Facebook is your stage, right? Or social media is your stage. That's your opportunity to communicate with people.
What a great way to put it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you have a platform. I mean, you really do. It doesn't matter how new you are. You absolutely have a platform. So, I want to get into how people can get the best response from people. And, I want to get into tools you use, what your favorite, I know Facebook's probably maybe your favorite, but what your favorite platform is outside of Facebook, all that stuff. But But first, I mean, someone comes to Facebook. They just said, they reflected on what you just said. They said, okay, maybe I'm posting a few too many before and after pictures, or maybe I'm being too pitchy, or maybe I need to put my face in there versus my logo, or whatever it is, you know. What types of things should they post on a daily basis to get the most engagement, particularly like from, you know, the most engagement and the most curiosity and the most interest from people who are potential prospects that follow them?
Well, I'm going to give away a huge tip. Okay. So get ready.
What I'm looking for.
I just put out a video kind of about this, but I'm going to give you a little bit more. So when I first got started, I believe that the number one reason that people paid attention to me and paid attention to what I said to them when I would reach out to them and message them is because I created my own content, number one, and I was vulnerable, number two. So if you have to think of your business as like, if you've done it all wrong in the past, or you're not seeing the results that you wanted, that's okay. You have to think of today is the first day of your business. Your business is brand new. It's a brand new baby, and you have to feed it and love it and make it grow. So what you need to do is really give people a reason to look at you as someone who is credible and someone they can trust. Now, a lot of people nowadays are posting content and things, but a lot of times it's really, you know, if they're not taught properly, it can be self-serving. So they're posting content to make them look good instead of posting content to help their target market and to take people on the journey with them. So if you're posting content immediately, if somebody, you know, if you're having a conversation with someone and they ask you a question, or, you know, you see on their Facebook that they're wondering about how to get leads, for example, and you send them a total value post that you did, or a total value video that you did through Messenger saying, hey, this may help you out, with no links or anything, immediately you become credible and you become an authority. But at the same time, if you're like launching your business, you want to be vulnerable and take people on the journey with you. So when I first started, my first kind of launch of my business on social media was, hey, and you know, in the past, I haven't built a lot of business credibility. I am terrified of videos, so terrified, in fact, that doing this, I'm shaking right now, but I'm going to do a 7-day video challenge, and I'd love for you to come along the journey with me. And because of that, I got so many people that could relate to me, so much traffic, so many leads, because people were reaching out to me. So just be vulnerable, do some content, and use that when you're messaging people back and forth if you really want to launch your business the right way.
Awesome. And you see, I just switched up the view here. So now, you know, I think I even things out here where I think we're like, feels like an interview now. I think I can't tell on my end, but okay. All right. Maybe it was the same the whole time. Awesome. So, you know, I think a couple of things, like one, you mentioned like your business is like your baby. And there's one thing I did not mention that I absolutely want to congratulate you on. And that is that beautiful baby, Sabrina.
Oh, thank you.
You and Ray seem so unbelievably happy. It is just such an amazing, she's so clearly a blessing. I get to meet her out in the Dominican. She was amazing. And I'm just super, super, super happy for you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She is awesome.
Yeah. You said one thing that was really powerful, and you said that people go out there in a self-serving way. And, you know, I just want to be super clear with everybody out there. You can't hide the energy with which you approach your marketing. Okay. If you're out there, just no matter how valuable you think what you're doing is, if you literally at your core, your intentions are simply to make a sale, or your intentions are simply to get somebody, right? That kind of thing. And you're not coming from a place of service, it will always show up in your posts. It will always show up in your content. It will show up in your conversations. There is no way around it. So, you know, kind of get right with what, you know, with the impact you can have in the marketplace by bringing, you know, great content to your social media posts and all that good stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. So, you know what, let's see, let's give another nugget here. What, as if there haven't been enough guys, if you're getting value out of this and you're seeing this on Facebook, go ahead. Feel free to share. We got more good stuff coming. Drop a comment below. congratulate Jess on the birth of Sabrina, and definitely thank her for the unbelievable content she's bringing your way. But, obviously conversations are a big part of, prospecting, right? I mean, it's everything, communication, right? What can people do to get a better response from their prospects, on social media? What can people do to get a higher response rate and people more open? I mean, from a communication standpoint.
Two main things. One is you need to tell them why you're messaging them. And I say this in a lot of my training. And sometimes people translate that as just saying something along the lines of, oh, you're really sharp and I wanted to reach out to you, or you're really intelligent and I love that you seem smart. That's not specific enough. When I say why you're messaging them, it needs to be something specific that you saw on their profile or in their pictures or something, so that they know that you took the time to reach out to them and that you are specifically messaging them. Okay, and that you're not mass messaging it. If you can copy and paste it and put it to all your different friends, then it's not specific enough. And still people, they kind of skim over this fact and think, oh, well, I'll just tell them I, message them because they're pretty, or because, they look good in that shirt, whatever. It's got to be very specific. And the second thing is I would tell them that you don't message everyone, and be very clear about that. And say, I reached out to you for a specific purpose. Just so you know, this isn't just like I said, be vulnerable. This isn't some mass message that I'm sending to a ton of people. I'm sending this specifically to you because I really liked X, Y, and Z, and I don't message everyone. So if you want a higher response rate, that's what I would do. Now, on social media, of course, especially Facebook, you're going to have people that don't see your messages and things like that. That is easily fixed. It's easily fixed. There's a lot of different ways that you can tackle that. But one, kind of long-term way, but you want your business to be long-term, is build your network. The more network you have, believe me, and the more friends that you build, it's impossible for you not to have leads and not to have people to talk to. It's just impossible. So build not only your face-to-face network, but your social media network as well.
Awesome. So I've got a question that is for the people that consider themselves new, right? And I think that a lot of times people hang on to that, that kind of identity because maybe they don't have results yet or something like that. And, I love, Ray said this before, I love sharing this because it makes so much sense. And that is, nobody's going to show up at your house and tell you you're ready, right? Like your diploma doesn't come in the mail, sooner or later, you just kind of step into that leadership role and start, you turn the corner. But for someone who, thinks they're new, right, and doesn't have results yet, what should they be doing right now? What's the first thing, right? Somebody says, okay, I'm going to change the way I communicate on social media. I'm kind of new to this. What's just like the first thing they do? What's the first shift they make?
Well, the first thing that I would do is I would do a Facebook Live. Okay. And if you feel like you just said, if you said, I'm not ready for that, well, just get ready. Just do it and tell people, hey, I didn't think I was ready for this, but I'm doing it. I'm here, and it may be awesome. It may not be, but I'm doing it, because so few people are going to do Facebook Lives. And I know you see them here and there, and it's got a lot of traction right now, but not a lot of people like to do live video. And that's a huge tool because they're scared they're going to, screw up or whatever. So you can really stand out, and Facebook's giving a lot of reach and views to live video. So if I were brand new coming on, that's one of the first things I would do. I would find a topic that I want to share with my audience and do a live video and be totally vulnerable. Then I would go to all my current friends or fans that I have and reach out to them and send them a personal message and see if there's some type of opening there to talk about my product or service or business. And, if there's not, but at least I'm establishing the connection. And then from there, I would do everything in my power and be consistent to add to my network every single day. And when you do reach out to the people that you already have, which there are people in your database right now that you already have that will probably join you. Okay.
Always people watching, guys. There are always people watching. you
Always.
forget, you don't realize how many people are watching until someone comes out of the woodwork or comments, and you're like, wow, I can't believe this person even knows that I'm up to this, or that this is going on, or they saw this. Always, always, always people watching.
Totally. And we're always, we're always focused on, we got to get more and more and more new, which is great. You want new and more, but you have people right there in front of you. So don't forget about those people. That's the first thing I would do, is just go to them, reach out, establish a connection, see if, things are going great in their life, if they're not going great, and then just keep adding, and keep getting those people into your network.
Awesome. Now, guys, before we move forward to the next question, I do want to mention a special event that we have coming up, July 28th, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Jessica has been kind enough to come out and do a full training on the subject of social media, and I'm excited. I'll leave a button below, or you can click the link below this video, depending on where you're seeing it. Just what are some of the things you're going to discuss, and why do people want to show up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for it. I'll be sharing exact scripts that you can use. And also what's really, really important when you're messaging back and forth and trying to get somebody into your business is asking the right questions. So I'll be sharing 3 different questions that can lead someone to the close. Otherwise, you could waste a lot of time just being in conversational chit chat forever and never close a single person. So that'll be some stuff I'll be sharing. And I'll be sharing some marketing tips so you can get more people seeing your stuff and responding to you on social media. And also how to bring them from the actual close where you mention your business to the phone, and then the actual close where they come into your business and are recruited. So that's an important step a lot of people are missing. And my goal is just to turn you into a recruiting machine. So there you go.
So, if that's not a good enough reason to go down and register, I don't know what is, from someone who's recruited hundreds of people on social media, who is one of the premium trainers on the topic, is going to teach you exactly what to say, right? Exactly what to say to move people, through the conversation onto the phone. It's fantastic stuff. I had a conversation with a client the other day where, he said, I'm spending so much time, right? I'm spending so much time. And I said, well, you're not asking the right question. You're not qualifying. You're not moving the conversation the right way, and then everybody is just taking your time away from you. And you don't know who's the open prospect, who's the hot prospect. You don't know how to move the conversation forward. And I'm so excited that you're going to share scripts with people so that they can so that they can cut out that kind of painful process, the learning process that's associated with that. So go down, get registered. If you've got teammates who could benefit from this, what I love so much about your social media training, Jess, is that there's a lot of training out there online. And there's this whole scale of what is more duplicatable, or what you would share with your team, versus stuff that gets a little more complicated. And I just believe that social media recruiting is the premium topic that you could share with anyone on your team that wants to go out there and reach anyone in the world and recruit. So this webinar is going to be amazing, guys. Go down, get registered. I do have some more questions for Jess, so don't go anywhere, but definitely get registered, and feel free, definitely get this link out to people who it can help.